Right now it's like 5:30 in the morning, almost 6. And what's going on, Rifki?
Well, I'm in labor, and we are about to give birth to you. You little, I don't know what's your name. Little babu. Yeah, we cannot wait to see you. I'm excited.
Really excited. See you on the other side.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world. Mommy. Take good care of you.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. I know that everyone has things to do, and I value your time. I value that you took time out of your day and your schedule to come here. It means a lot to me, more than I can express in these words. I will not forget it. So thank you so much for coming, really. I truly mean that. And of course, thank you to my parents for everything, for always being there for me, helping me out. So, I'll be honest with you, this mitzvah for me, Brit Milah, is extremely difficult. I guess I could say was, thank God. It was extremely difficult. And the reason is because the baby, you know, it's only 8 days old, right? Like, everyone in this room, I would never want to harm. So why would I take my own kid who's 8 days old, who can't even speak, and do such a thing? It's beyond logical. I mean, especially at such a young age, why would you do such a thing? It's for me, it was like hard to sleep at night, and just thinking about it throughout the pregnancy, it just was not a comfortable feeling. You know, I'm a human being. You know, as much as I'm in the path of Hashem and Torah, or at least I try to be, it's still a hard mitzvah to do. Not all mitzvahs are made equal. For me, this one was a very hard one. This isn't a receipt. I actually wrote my speech on a receipt. You can look at it every once in a while. So, just like all things in life, I try to understand why. I try to understand why. Why do we do these things? Why would we even do a Brit Milah? Why should I just go with it? Should I just do this because we're supposed to? Because it's just a mitzvah to just do this? I want to understand, why is it even a mitzvah? What's so special? What's so significant about the Brit Milah? So, first of all, you should know that we only knew that we could do the Brit yesterday at 12:30, literally. Not even 24 hours ago, we got the go-ahead to do it. So, it's the 8th day right now of my son's life. And there's something really significant about the number 8. So, 6 is the physical world. Left, right, forward, back, up, down. That's 6 sides. And then the 7th is the spiritual, so the internal, right? But there's an 8, and the 8th is metaphysical. And for lack of better words, you could call it, it's a miracle. 8 is the number for miracles. Okay? So, there's something really special about the Brit Milah. Just like Hanukkah, it lasted 8 days, the oil. It was a miracle. So, there's something that recently came upon me that really blew my mind. I want to share that with you. Our existence in this world is a miracle. if our planet were to be a few meters away from where it is in space, we wouldn't be able to exist. If the boiling point of water was a different number, we couldn't exist. If the amount of oxygen in the air was a little bit different, we wouldn't be able to exist. Scientists have even gone and said that we can't even live anywhere else in the universe, as far as they know. Current science says there's nowhere we can live that we know of. Maybe somewhere else, a billion light years away, okay, but we haven't got there. So basically, this is the only place that we can live. We can visit, but we can't live anywhere else. Now, that's a miracle. And beyond that, I realized, and I learned rather, that the universe is always expanding. And I thought to myself, if it's always expanding and physics always has an equal and opposite reaction, so if the universe is always going outward, so what's going inward? I don't know what that word is, but I'm going to call it life. Life is coming down on us. And there's almost no reason why we should be there. If you think about it, look at all the other planets. There's no life on there. But ours has life. Ours has us. Ours has all of us sitting here right now. And sometimes we get lost in that. We get lost in this reality, like things are just happening. Like I feel like watching TV. I feel like going here. I feel like doing that. But just realize it's impossible that we're here. And the only reason that we're here is because it's a gift. That's the only logical explanation I could at least think of. And that gift is from God. So what's the equal and opposite reaction to that? It's also to give. That's all we can do. We want to try to replicate Hashem. And so it's important that we're always giving to each other, always helping each other when each other needs it. When you get that phone call in the middle of the night and someone's asking for help, that's the reason we're here, is to help. It's not just to turn around and say sorry. We're here to give, even if we can only give a little. That's what we're here to do. But what's the greatest thing we could give? It's life. The greatest thing that we could ever possibly give is life. And that leads me to the Brit Milah. Essentially, it's so fascinating. God could have made a Brit with Avraham Avinu by giving him a high five or signing a contract. But how did he do it? He did it with the reproductive organ. And it's ironic because that's the organ that gives life. And if you look at the rest of the world, this particular area of the body can be used so wrong. Now, if you look at an animal, let's say, right? Let's talk about a dog. A dog's head is on the same level as its heart and its reproductive organs. So if it wants to, if it has an urge, it will just do it. And if it's hungry, he'll just eat. And if he's angry, he'll just bark. It's all instincts. So if we behave with this part of our body like that, we'll also be animals, and it can cause a lot of destruction. So God had a purpose. He said, you know what? I'm going to make sure you guys are a people of the breed. I'm going to make sure that this is what's going to bind you to me. I want you to choose good. I want you to have holiness. Now there's something really fascinating what God did. If you look at the letters Yud, K, Vav, and K, okay, for Hashem's name, something fascinating happens. If you look at the letter Yud, okay, I don't know if you can see, but you all know how Yud looks like, okay? That becomes the head. And if you keep going lower, you have the Hey, okay, which are the shoulders, okay, and the arms. And then you keep going, you have the Vav, which is torso, okay? And then you keep going and you have the other Hey, which are his legs. And all of a sudden you have a person and it's Yud K Vav K. So what happens is if you use your head first, then your heart, and then the reproductive organs, you could be holy. And that's why Hashem chose to do that as a covenant with us. We are a light unto the nations. That's what we were built for. That's what we're here to do. And essentially, we all have this potential that we're supposed to use and we're supposed to bring to this world. And this is the beginning. This is the beginning of how it all begins. With my son now having the Brit Milah, I got another understanding of why we're here. Why we should slow down with our words and think before we speak, and how we should try to be positive influences on people, and how we should try to use our existence to be like Yud Kei Vav Kei, to be givers, to follow in the traits of Hashem. I really wanted to name my kid something that would be very meaningful. I know growing up in Canada as a non-observant Jew, you have names like Bob and Bill and things like that. And whenever I would ask a friend or what their name meant, people had no clue. And I found that to be, for me at least, disturbing, because like I can explain more about an orange than the name Bob, right? Like, so why does a person have less meaning with his name? So I wanted a name that would be very special, and so I went with Jonathan, which is the name of my father, who's as a role model for me. He also grew up non-observant, and he chose the path less taken. Essentially also, Jonathan, I'm actually really into the books of Navi, the books of prophets. And Jonathan actually saved the Jewish people from a crazy war with the Philistines. He literally went over there with his assistant, all by himself, and he just stopped an entire war. And they were outnumbered by 100 to 1. It was impossible to win. So Jonathan to me means a lot. And essentially, I want to finish up by saying that I hope that my son can live out his potential with the Shekhinah within him, and he should also be a Gibor Yisrael, and he should also bring upon salvation to the Jewish people by just being alive. And I bless that all of you guys here, everyone sitting here, should take at least today and the rest of their lives, but especially today, and try to do one thing really nice for somebody else, to be extra kind to somebody, and just realize our existence, realize our reality, and just try to bring the Yud Kei Vav Kei down. In this infinite world that just has no end of this expanding universe, we're here. God chose you to be here alive right now in 2016. So take that opportunity and maximize it. Go make somebody happy today. Go make yourself happy today. Go do some good mitzvahs. Go do some good acts. That's what we're here to do. The time is ticking, and who knows how long we'll have. But God put us here right now, and I bless all of you, especially my son, that we should all maximize our potential with pride, with joy, with grace, and you should all have a great day.
Mazel tov.